We've only had daylight for about a day and an hour and a half now. Our youth are just starting to get out there. We're finding that a lot of the roads are impassable. We got a lot of
Good morning, everybody. Come on in and have a seat.
Bodies being found. We are trying to make our way to those areas. We do have aircraft in the area now to try and do an overall assessment of the county.
Sheriff, this storm did take a turn in your direction. The initial projections were for the Tampa-St. Pete area. It did move a little south, right toward you. Do you believe that most of your residents followed orders to evacuate, or are you concerned that a lot of people were still there when this storm slammed into the coast yesterday?
No, I'm very concerned that a lot of our residents did stay by.
Good
a lot
morning.
of people, unfortunately, they get complacent because we get, hurricane notices all the time.
Good morning. Do I have any Florida people in the house?
2004, which unfortunately I was here for that one.
I checked in with my family last night and this morning, and they're doing okay. Any Florida people? Miami in the house? How you doing?
Sheriff, can you give us an update right now in the hospitals in your county? Whether they have...
How are you and the people in your neighborhood? I hope everything is okay. I'm from Miami. Lived several years in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is not too far from Miami, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. So I've spent many a time in the midst of a hurricane. Naples got slammed.
So as we pull people from the rubble, we can get them triaged and then sent to the nearest medical facility.
So, Sheriff, is
Sad.
Island reachable out there? And the second question corresponding to that is the amount of elderly in your county that you have to be worried about.
Yeah, I talked to my mom this morning.
Well, with regards to the islands, we have three islands.
She's doing well.
Only accessible by boat. We do have Boca Grande, which is also referred to as Gasparilla Island. That does have a bridge. From what we're told, that bridge is intact.
Yeah, they've been talking about it on the news all morning.
Always a concern for us.
This guy that's speaking now, he's from Charlotte County.
But there's no telling how many did stay back.
All right, the Sheriff of Charlotte County, Florida, Bill Cromell, thank you very much.
I hear the hurricane has been downgraded to a 1 as it moves up the coast. Good morning, NYC. Good morning, everybody.
Death, destruction, and injuries in your jurisdiction or beyond?
Well, we don't have any reports of any deaths.
This is Tampa. This is the woman from Tampa. Oh, this is the mayor. This is the mayor. How is everybody else doing this morning?
So we have trees down probably around 100.
I have 2 minutes or you have 2 minutes because I'm good. Gonna be a long day for folks in Florida. Lost my dad's house to the Dixie fire last year. Stay safe. How's your dad doing?
Our troops to be able to send them down, our urban search and rescue, all of the resources that we can send down to help our neighbors to the south.
I just donated to an organization. Somebody shared with me in regards to Puerto Rico. Looks like I'm going to be donating to... Oh, okay. My condolences.
Well, they're responding down there to assist in any way they can. Usually we send out police...
Looks like I'll be donating to what's going on in Florida because it's bad. It looked like it went along the west coast, cut across, and now it's going up the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. Yes, I heard about Coolio. I woke up to that news this morning. I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene's breaking news last night. I did a video this morning. I didn't talk about it last night. But yeah, I heard about her and her husband.
Well, that's the second time that has happened here.
You know what I find fascinating about these hurricanes? It's what I find fascinating that I don't remember happening when I was living in Florida and dealing with these hurricanes is that these hurricanes now will suck up all of the water from all of the intercoastal ways and all of the canals that run through the neighborhoods. It sucks all of that water out, even along the beaches. And I've never remembered that happening. A hurricane so powerful that it sucks out all of this water. And then I guess at some point, as it dies down, it releases this water and it all comes rushing back. That's what I find fascinating. What's different with the hurricanes today? Somebody says it's very common. Oh, I don't know about it being man-made. I've heard all of the stories. I got a gray hair here, and I always think it's a piece of lint, so I'm always doing this. They've never talked about, I don't know if this has always happened or if the strength and the size and the magnitude of the hurricanes today are different from the hurricanes back when it was in Ivan. It happened with Ivan. Okay. No, I don't think it's tsunami. We don't get tsunamis over on this side of the earth, but you never know. You never know. Do we get tsunamis on this side of the earth? I don't know. But I don't think it's tsunami related. Maybe it has some. I wish I knew a scientist or a weather person. Maybe I'll do some. Somebody, thank you for loving my stuff. Somebody sent me a CashApp late in the midnight hour. Let me shout this person out. Oh, mom is. Let me shout this person out. I could buy me some lunch today.
We're looking at Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, Marco Island, Venice, Punta Gorda.
Oh, it went away. Why did it go away? Let me go to the text message. December. Thank you so much. I'm going to have lunch today. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I hope Noah's getting his boat ready. Thank you for loving my glasses. Oh, my Cash App. I just changed it. Hold on. What did I change it to? Tabitha Speaks TV. $ capital T A B I T H A Speaks TV. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. I don't have much to talk about. You know, I haven't really been following all of. Thank you, Mountain Girl. I haven't been following. Hey, D-Mac. I haven't been following all of the minute to minute on what's been going on with the special master and Donald Trump. I don't have the patience. I'm waiting for the big stuff to happen. But Muscles and Nursing has been on it. Minute to minute, post by post. He has been on it. And typically if he sees me on in the morning, I think he knows that I can't keep up with the minute to minute. So when he sees me on in the morning, he'll pop on and give me an update. Hey, Asia. If you're not following Muscles and Nursing, and you want to stay up to the minute on, and it's all of the players involved. He has been on it. Not just surrounding Donald Trump and this special master. No. All of the different players, all of the moving parts, all of the different characters, he is on it. So I've been staying up to date through him because I can't even, you know, get onto Twitter as much anymore. I've been working on a huge project. So Muscles and Nursing is his name. Muscles and Nursing. Right, you guys, and I love this for them. I love this for her. I love this for he has been on it. So if you're like me and haven't been able to stay up to date on a lot of the goings on, follow him. I did hear that Jenny Thomas is going to be speaking to, hey, won't be silent, good morning, will be speaking to the January 6th committee. I don't give a shit. I don't care. As we're speaking about Jenny Thomas speaking with the January 6th committee, I'm going to head right on over here to Twitter and tweet, it's a good day for Clarence Thomas to resign. Because I don't trust Jenny Thomas. I believe her and her husband have been in cahoots. Hey, Petty Rowe. Her and her husband have been in cahoots. He knows what she's been doing, and he's been looking at cases and presiding over cases based on trying to protect his wife. Today would be a good day for Clarence Thomas to resign. Every time they mention her, that's what I go over on Twitter to tweet.
And talking to state officials, and any minute now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will provide an update on the recovery efforts as well. And later, the threat isn't over yet.
Hold on, let me get my thoughts together.
Is now a tropical storm. It continues.
If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me over on Twitter at Tabitha Speaks.
State of emergency in advance of the storm. The deputy director of NOAA will be here with what we can expect. You're watching Morning Joe. We'll be right back.
The new Subway Series menu, the greatest sandwich roster ever assembled. For more on the new boss, here's Patrick Mahomes.
Incredible. Meatballs, fresh mozzarella, and pepperoni.
Oh, the meatballs.
I'm mad. I went to hang the rest of my curtains last night, and the rods that I got are too long, so I couldn't. Hurricane Ian had to show the gov. He ain't God, child. Right, them texts between her and Meadows, child, she was right there in the midst of it. And I don't trust her. I don't trust that she's going to go in there and tell the absolute truth, because telling the absolute truth would mean implicating yourself. Oh, my Cash App? My Cash App is $ Tabitha Speaks TV. Tabitha is with a capital T. Thank y'all. Y'all might be buying me dinner too. I appreciate that. Because you know your girl don't like to cook. Oh, you sent it? Oh, let me look. Oh, two of y'all. Wait, let me see what's going on here. Queen Dominate, thank you so much. I'm going to use the initials for the other one because that looks like a government name, and I don't want to put out a government name. A as in apple, N as in Nancy, A as in apple. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Oh, wait. And there's I'm going to use these initials because this also looks like a government name. S as in Sam, S as in Sam, M as in more. Thank y'all. Y'all done bought me lunch and dinner. I appreciate y'all. Oh, type it. How do I do that? How do I do that? Listen, if you go into my bio, my link tree is in my bio. Click on the link. It'll ask you if you want to open up this thing. And my link to my Cash App is there. It'll take you right to my Cash App. Somebody put it in the chat anyway. Somebody is being messy and petty. New to TikTok, why do people send Cash Apps to people on this app? Baby, listen, don't worry about it. If you're not sending one or wanting to send one, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Thank y'all for putting it in the chat. Because I sure can't find where I could type on this screen. For as tech savvy as I am, in some areas I am not. So, what else is going on, y'all? I don't have like a particular subject. You know, usually I come in with a particular subject, but thank you, Bipolar. Let them know. I appreciate y'all for appreciating me. Good morning. Good morning. Have you seen the clips on Jody Greene? Who is Jody Greene? Let me Google. The author? That's what came up. Let me turn my news down. Hold on. Oh my God. Let me stop this so I can listen to this. What? You know, I've always said this is a team effort, a collective between me, the content creator, and the people who follow me, because I don't see everything, so I don't know everything. I'm not always right. So y'all will correct me and y'all will let me know on stuff that I'm missing. And somebody just let me know about something that I'm missing. Let me read this article. Somebody say, what's the T? Let me read this. Okay. This man's name is Jody Greene. He is a Columbus County sheriff. Where am I getting this article from? I'm getting this article from WBTV in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, let me read this. On one end of the phone was Columbus County Sheriff Jody Greene. On the other was then Captain Jason Souls, who had just been tapped to lead the sheriff's office while elections officials investigated a complaint questioning whether Greene was eligible to serve as sheriff. Greene wanted to know who in the department had communicated with Lewis Hatcher, the former sheriff who Greene had narrowly defeated in the election, and Melvin Campbell, a recently fired sergeant, both of whom are African American. In Greene's words, they had a snitch in the office, leaking information to his political opponent who has sued to be reinstated until the election protests were resolved. This is a quote, a direct quote. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these black bastards, said Greene to Souls. He says more. I'm going to clean house and be done with it, and we'll start from there. The call between Greene and Souls took place 2 months ago into what was the tumultuous start to Greene's career as sheriff. Greene beat Hatcher in the 2018 election by just 34 votes. If 35 people who supported his opponent made it a priority to go out and vote, this racist mofo would not have been voted into office. But moving on. At a time when election fraud in this rural part of North Carolina was making national headlines, the results were protested, in part over concerns Greene did not actually live in Columbus County as required by state law. He's been improperly sworn in before the state certified the election results. So you see, whenever they find a real case of election fraud, it's them that's committing it. Alexa, stop.
8:30 a.m. alarm stopped on Tabitha's second echo dot.
The call between Greene and Souls took place about 2 months into, I read all of that. The results were protested in part, okay, I read all of that. Souls' promotion to acting sheriff was the result of a court-mediated agreement between Greene and Hatcher while elections officials worked to determine who was the rightful sheriff. Greene wanted his chief deputy, Aaron Herring, to serve as interim sheriff. But Herring was not an acceptable alternative to Hatcher and his supporters, in part because of Herring's reputation in Columbus County's African American community. So they're a bunch of good old boys, a bunch of good old racists, okay? Herring was arrested in 2015, charged with punching a handcuffed black man in the face while serving as a Whiteville police officer. He was later found not guilty. And we all know, just because you're found not guilty does not mean you didn't commit said crime. It means they couldn't prove it. But that did little to quell concerns in some parts of the community about his treatment of African Americans. Souls told WECT that immediately after his appointment as acting sheriff, he began getting late-night phone calls from Greene. Quote, this one particular phone call that I received, he made the comment that he hated Democrats. And then he said, I take that back. I hate black effing Democrats. And I knew right then, I was like, wow, this is coming from the sheriff. Well, y'all all one and the same. Y'all are peas in a pod. Let me tell you what this guy's doing. This guy has been positioned as interim sheriff. And this guy has a history. Community was concerned because of how he treats people in the African American community. But he's been positioned as interim sheriff, as Greene, who supposedly won the position via being voted in. But the whole elections thing is being investigated, right? So if he outs Greene and he's interim sheriff, then he may just get to keep that position. They all peas in the pod. That's how my mind is thinking right now. But let's move on. Wow, this is coming from the sheriff, and I had to start recording those conversations. He ain't no better. Souls said of the moment before he hit record on the phone call. Souls, who is now running, so now he wants the position permanently for Columbus County Sheriff against Jody Greene. So now it's the two of them going head to head. He was concerned that the most powerful law enforcement officer in Columbus County was racist and would not treat black employees well. It broke my heart because that's not what I believe in. It upsets me to the fact that I did have to start recording this phone call. And I'm not wanting to go around recording people's conversations. But when you see political goals and aspirations, yeah. It goes on to talk about the recording. Let me read this. I was going to move past this, but this needs to be read. Talks about the recording. The portion of the conversations so recorded lasted for 6.5 minutes. He says the call happened late one night in early February of 2019. Trying to track down the source of the apparent leak in his office, Greene can be heard saying he's contacted Verizon to get records to see if anyone in his department has made calls to or received from Lewis Hatcher or Melvin Campbell. Those are the two officers that are African American within the department. Okay. Quote, they're gone. This is as fair as I'm going to be. Just giving you a heads up. That's coming. When me and Attorney Boyd and Worley, Angie go through it tomorrow, the first numbers we see, they're gone. So they're just going to go through a report, and the first numbers that they see, they're going to boot these people. They're going to fire them. They ain't going to make it, brother. I'm telling you, they might as well find somewhere else to go, because if you ain't with me, I ain't referring to you. But if they're not with me, they're against me. And they're gone. So if you don't agree with him and his way of thinking and what it is that he wants to do as far as spewing racism and hate and you got to go. If you're not going to shut up and keep your head down, you got to go. Excuse me. And that's just how it's going to be. Whatever her name is, I don't trust her. Dawn says she's a racist. If I have to fire every MFer out there, guess what? Greene can be heard saying at the beginning of the recording. He doesn't recognize that he himself is a racist, sorry. I'm tired of them effing with me. It ain't happening no more, no goddamn more. So you let them know if I find their numbers in the next day or two, they ain't going to like it. They damn sure ain't going to like it. And that's got to be somebody in command, staff. I don't trust her. Whoever this person he's talking about. She's just sitting there staring at me the other day, the whole time. Where's the audio? I want to hear the audio. Has the audio been published? There's a video attached to this. Let's listen to the video. Is this, wait, this might be the audio. It says editor's note. Okay, let's play this and see if this is it. Ooh, child whiskey, please stop that. I can't stand the sound of him licking his shrimp.
Your love is now essential. It's how I get through. You're the up to my down, got my back and forth.
Sorry, y'all. Okay.
Yeah. The first place I see, I've got the office numbers too. I'm getting the first extension that Melvin Campbell or Lewis Hatcher's called, they're gone. First one I find. Period.com. I'm sick of it now. Sick of these black bastards. What are they trying to clean the house and be done with it, period, and we'll start from there. What are they trying to say? It's just shit all the time. But from 2 weeks ago, when I got from Melvin leaving up till now, when I see Melvin call, Melvin Campbell has called anybody, or anybody's called him, they're gone. Same with Lewis Hatcher. And it's a Sabrina, whoever, they're gone. And I'm telling you. This is as fair as I can be. Just giving you heads up, that's coming. When me and Boyd and Nancy go to it tomorrow, the first numbers we see, they ain't gonna make it, brother. I'm telling you. I might as well hunt somewhere else to go. If you ain't with me, I ain't refer to you, but if they're not with me, they're against me. And they're gone. That's just how it's going to go. Clarity, whatever her name is, I don't trust her. Don't say she's racist. She said her once to leave that in a fucking dump truck. And I noticed how she was looking. Somebody called and told them I was at a county meeting. I left in a fucking dump truck. But Melvin Campbell's got a lot to do with this too. I sure have. He's the go-to man. I've been told that over and over and over again.
Listen, let me pause this for a minute. For all of y'all that's coming in, we are talking about sheriff out in a town, small town in North Carolina. His name is Jody Greene. And he's basically been caught on audio being recorded talking about firing people who are working with his opponent. This is all in regards to an election. In regards to his opponent, using racist language, threatening to fire the entire police department if he gets in. Excuse me. So this is the audio that we're listening to. Thank you. Also, let me say this. If you're ever on the phone with somebody and you're doing all of the talking and they ain't talking, say, listen, I'm going to call you back.
That'd be smart thing to do it.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah, it's time to clean house. So I still got people running their fucking, and I ain't been up good. Nah, I'll tell you something, I got a lot of money in this. And it's going to be my way or it's going to be no way. I'm $140,000 right now.
No, man.
Yeah. That's where we at right now today. If I had to fire every motherfucker out there, guess what? I'm tired of being fucking. They ain't happening no more. No goddamn more. So you let them know. If I find them numbers, then that's there too. They ain't gonna lie. They damn sure ain't gonna lie. And it's got to be somebody in the command staff. Clarity, I don't trust her. She's just sitting there staring at me the other day the whole time. Staring at me the whole fucking time. I was loading that back up. Can we end up the church changing that? Today they called me to be another fucking complaint. I've had a complaint every day. I ain't been to that fucking office. Have I called you?
No, sir. I
ain't
haven't
called
seen
every
it.
day. But it's stopped. Tomorrow's gonna be a new fucking day. I'm still the motherfucking sheriff, and when I'll go up there and fire my goddamn thing. Fucking black bastards. They think I'm scared? That's stupid.
He said F the black bastards.
I don't know what else to do with it. So I said, it's just time to clean them out. There's a snitch in there somewhere telling what we're doing, and I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. The only thing I know to do is pull phone records and start checking. I ain't putting trackers on people, but phone records still the deal. Yep. So just give me a heads up. Hell's coming, I promise. As soon as I find out who it is, they ain't gonna lie. transaction at 5. They can be guilty by fucking.
This is the guy, all of that noise that you hear, this is the guy showing on his computer. He's moving his phone around because he's showing on the computer that he's recording this conversation. And he's showing that it's actually Sheriff Greene calling him.
Association. You agree?
We don't need no snake, bro.
I ain't gonna have it. I'm gonna cut the snake's fucking head off. And Melvin Campbell's the biggest snake as loose as you ever heard to be. Every black that I know, you need to find him to start with. He's a snake.
Every black that I know, we need to start with getting rid of them. Because it's the black people.
Well, I'm gonna keep my part. Watch what I tell you. But you and Aaron get together in the morning, and Bobby. See y'all figure out who it is.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir, bro. Take care. Bye.
And so this person that he's having this conversation with is now running against him. That was Jody Greene. I don't know if this is still ongoing, if Souls is still the interim, or I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't say if he was voted out or if he resigned. Somebody just dropped, said, have you heard? In the chat said, did you hear about Jody Greene? And you know I could be nosy, so I went and Googled Jody Greene. And this came up. Every black that I know, you need to fire him. Somebody in his department was leaking information to his opponent. Sheriff is an elected position. So the person that he was running against, somebody within the department was leaking information to him. He automatically assumed that it was two. He first started off assuming that it was two police officers within the department. And then, as you heard, it escalated from that, child. He thought it was the woman. He mentioned the woman because she stared at him. She stares at him. Then it escalated to he's going to get the Verizon bill and go through the Verizon bill to see if anybody had made any calls from their cell phones directly to his opponent. And he was going to find it that way. Then he told the guy that he was talking to get with somebody else and try to figure out who it could be. Meanwhile, the guy is recording him. Child, it don't say nothing about he's resigned or he's dropped out of the race or anything like that, child. Nothing like that. Nothing. So anybody out in North Carolina, where is this specifically? Columbus County, North Carolina, that could drop some tea? Did he drop out of the race? Is this still ongoing? Is there a new sheriff in town? And then, it escalated to that. We're going to get rid of all the black people in the department. But he is saying that somebody else in the department is racist. Child. Nobody in North Carolina that could drop some tea, because this article isn't saying if this race is still going on. If he dropped, let me go back to Google and see if there's. Hey, Uncle Dam. Jody Greene. I see a campaign over on Facebook, re-elect Jody Greene. But I don't see, any like announcements that he's dropped out of the race or... Okay, so somebody else said there's no update of him dropping out of the race. Baby, that's a hot mess. That's a hot mess. Again, I got this from WBTV 3 in Charlotte, North Carolina. But just Google his name, Jody Greene, JodyGreene. And the very first article comes up that has the audio and all of that. If you guys want to go back and listen to it and see it for yourself. He made a post yesterday on Facebook. Let me go on over to the Facebook because there was an article. He posted this post on September 28th. This is what it says. On September 26th, I was contacted by WECT and informed that my opponent, Jason Souls is the one who recorded him in the sheriff's race, made a recording of an alleged conversation that occurred in 2019. At the alleged time the recording was made, Souls was a captain in my command staff at the Columbus County Sheriff's Office. Remember, when he started having problems with the election, he wanted to appoint Souls as the interim. During the time of the alleged conversation, I was not present at the sheriff's office due to the pending election petitions that were filed. So I know this man is not saying, yeah, even though this conversation happened, I wasn't sheriff at the time. Is that what this man is trying to say? So, I wasn't sheriff at the time, so this is nothing to see here. Nothing to see here? That's what I'm getting. Okay, let me keep going. During the petition hearings, I willingly stepped aside in February 2019, and at that time entrusted the sheriff's office to run per state statute. During this time, I later found that Souls was undermining other employees and spreading rumors. Remember I told you, he's recording it because he was posted up as the interim. And so he decided he wanted the position permanently. So he's doing all of this to boot Greene out of the way. They all peas in a pod, child. Let me continue. Hold on. Let me see where it was. During this time, I later found that Souls was undermining other employees and spreading rumors. I resumed the duties of sheriff into June of 2019 after the petition hearings held in May 2019 by the State Board of Elections that claimed Lewis Hatcher ineligible for the office, and the appeal of the decision to the Wake County Superior Court held in June 2019 that upheld Hatcher's inability. So his original opponent was deemed ineligible. But while all of this was going on, Souls was the interim. And Greene had to sit and let, the courts do its thing. Through the petition hearings, controversial racial contentions were incited. WNC 91.5, January 22nd, 2019, reported the controversy has exposed troubling rifts in the community. And I'm guessing it's because the head is problematic. Because remember, we ain't going to forget, he was going to get rid of all the black people. He said the black people were the cause of the problems, basically, right? Hold on. According to Andy Anderson, who goes on to be quoted as saying, quote, "It has actually caused a racial division between Sheriff Hatcher happens to be black and Jody Greene happens to be white. And Jody Greene, who's white, was using disparaging racial language." And people who use disparaging racial language are usually racist individuals. The unnecessary heightening of racial tensions for personal agendas and gain has resulted in a bigger racial divide in the county that has spilled over into the local county and government officials, probably because the white people are siding with the racist white people and aren't standing up for what's right, and they expect black people to sit down and shut up and take it. No. Okay, let's move on. I believe one candidate being white and the other candidate being black doesn't make it a racial issue. It sure doesn't. But when that white candidate is using insensitive, disparaging, racial, hateful wording, that's the problem. But instead should create a forum for each opponent to be more mindful of its constituents. I know this man is not trying to talk to anybody about being morally right and sound and fair when he was talking about getting rid of all the black people because he felt they were the ones that was leaking the information. Hell, now I'm starting to believe it was Souls that was leaking the information. Okay. The alleged conversation forwarded by WECT appears to be about personnel issues within the Columbus County Sheriff's Office. The alleged conversation appears to contain confidential and sensitive information such as personnel, personal matters, and policy violations are of a concern. Release of personnel information to the public is a violation of North Carolina law and a constitutional rights violation. So is he saying that that Souls recorded this and released that he violated law? I have received numerous calls in the past week expressing concerns that County Commissioner Buddy Byrd, Calvin Norton, and Columbus County formed a group advertising as a nonpartisan, combining to cause duress in the county. Hold on. I need to see what these people look like. Hold on. County Commissioner Buddy Byrd. Ooh, child. The commissioner, Buddy Byrd, has been charged with multiple felonies. Baby. Okay, Buddy Byrd is a white man, and he's been charged with multiple felonies. He's claiming that this is a political hit job. Baby, who brought this up in the chat? Who brought this up in the chat? Okay, so he also mentions Calvin. Woo, child. Calvin Norton. Calvin Norton has sued elected officials. He's suing elected officials. Baby, this a hot mess. Who brought this up in the chat? You still here? I don't see a picture of him. But let me see. Calvin Norton has sued local officials so many times in lawsuits deemed frivolous by a judge. He has effectively had his right to sue in state court revoked. Who brought this up? They probably not even in the chat anymore. Baby, okay, let me continue on. Okay, so that's Buddy Bird and Calvin Norton that he's talking about. These are the same people and groups from the 2018 election that spread defamatory lies and misinformation about me and the election proceedings. It was told that Bird stated WECT was now involved and this would help further his political agenda and influence. Remember, Bird has been arrested on multiple felonies. I was told that Bird uses the commissioners' meetings as a platform to spread gossip and lies about me and the sheriff's office. I have been told personally by Bird that I can watch out, that I have an election coming. Bird has made several statements out in the communities that he's willing to spend millions of dollars to have me removed from office. Calvin Norton, this is the guy that was filing frivolous lawsuits so much that the state judge revoked his ability to file another lawsuit. Calvin Norton, a known agitator in Columbus County, posted on his social media page on the same day I was contacted by WECT about these alleged recordings to watch WECT on Wednesday night. As I worked to improve work conditions that he messed up because he's obviously racist. As I work to improve work conditions in the sheriff's office and implement accountability, if you don't believe what I believe, you got to hit the highway. If you leaking information, you got to hit the highway. If you black, you got to hit the highway because I don't trust you. It was found that my opponent, Souls, while serving in his role as the captain and head of investigations division, was causing division amongst employees by having private meetings with a select group of people. Also, several hundred cases were identified that were not properly investigated or uninvestigated, including homicides under the supervision of Jason Souls. Another significant issue discovered after I took office was the limited checks and balances and lack of control and evidence collected for cases. Jason Souls was the supervising employee for this job task and never addressed the issue. Jason Souls' response to poor performance was to resign from his position at the sheriff's office. He resigned from the position at the sheriff's office because it seems like you were doing some retaliatory behavior. And he said, well, F this, I'm going to resign and run against you. When Souls announced his candidacy for sheriff, the Republican GOP of Columbus County was contacted by the Souls camp and expressed they wanted to run a clean, smear-free campaign. From the alleged 2019 recording Souls just released, it is clear he has other methods in mind. Yeah, he want to win. And you gave him ammunition. Baby, thank you, whoever dropped the name Jody Greene down in the chat. If Souls has had these alleged recordings since 2019, why would he intentionally hold the recordings? He's been waiting, baby. He's been sitting back and waiting. You put him as an interim while you was dealing with your elections, filings, and all of that stuff with your opponent. You put him up as interim. He liked that position. And I guess things worked out. You came back. He didn't want to come back. He didn't want to be underneath you no more. And so while y'all doing y'all thing and leaking information and your opponent ends up getting it, child, you gave him ammunition. What don't you get, sir? What don't you get? Why would he want to release them almost 4 years later? He's running against you, sir. But yes, y'all are all peas in the pod. Y'all are all peas in the pod. Why? What purpose does it serve? What? The only thing Souls has on his agenda is to be sheriff. That's all he needs. What? At all costs necessary. If Souls truly wanted unity and peace, this would have been an issue at the time of the alleged recording, not right before an election. You're right. If he truly wanted peace, all of this would have come out back there. But y'all two peas in the pod, and he was okay with it. And then a whole bunch of shit happened. And he don't want to be under you no more. So he quit. And so he's decided to run against you. And to get that position and get you out, he's got this ammunition. You saying this as if this isn't a political, what is the word I want to use? A political pathway. This isn't what they do in politics. This is politics these days. I did a video on Musty Marjorie. Video editing has become very popular. Okay, somebody had mentioned earlier that he talked about the audio being edited. Video editing has become very popular in recent years as more people have shown interest in creating videos for their audience. The video has been altered to give Jason Souls' audience a distorted and misleading view solely intended to further his campaign. Now, see, I consider myself to be a very well-balanced person. I think both of y'all are a bunch of shit. I think both of these men are full of shit. They are shitty individuals. They're racist. They're peas in a pod. I don't see one being better than the other. It's just Souls was smart enough to record your dirty ass. Period. Okay, let's move on. The video has been altered to, I can read that. As shown on the screen, the phone conversation lasted over 8 minutes. Jason only submitted 6 minutes of video to WECT for viewing, indicating the video was altered, has been altered. In my opinion, Jason's intent with the recording was to further incite racial division and to use the racial division to pursue. But you gave him this ammunition, sir. You were on the audio talking about, let me find your words. I'm sick of these black bastards. Every black that I know, you need to fire them. You were on the audio saying that, sir. Bottom line, period. In my opinion, Jason's intent with the recording was to further incite racial division and to use the racial division to pursue his personal agenda of a political run for office. But you gave him the ammunition. I feel the recording is a personal attack, an attack on my accomplishments as sheriff, an attempt to discredit the successful work of the sheriff's office for the last 4 years. But sir, you just went through a list and told us what you entrusted your employee to do didn't get done. And you're questioning some of the homicide investigations. So what accomplishments did you really do? Sir, listen. If Jason had any good intent with the use of this video, he had no good intent. His only intent was to expose you. Why was it not released when he recorded it in 2019? He didn't have a need to then. He didn't have a need to. Using a video almost 4 years later to reflect negatively on another individual does not demonstrate good moral character. Absolutely, it doesn't. You have no good moral character and neither does he. About personnel issues pertaining to Deputy Jeremy Barber and Clementine Thompson, the question was why they were no longer a part of the command staff. Thompson was never a part of the command staff. Barber was demoted and reassigned at his request due to personal issues outside of work. Thompson was demoted in 2018 and reassigned to a special position at the jail until a personnel issue arose. As sheriff, I implemented fair pay for all employees as long as they play by his rules, to include all races, where before only a few, he probably had to make sure it was across the board because of the union, the police union. There's no way he's going to be able to pay this one $20 an hour and only pay the black people $15 an hour. There was no way he was going to be able to do that. So he doesn't get a notch in the belt from me for that. I used to work for city government. What went for one as far as any type of pay, benefit, anything like that, it was for all of them, not just some of them. Or the union would eat they ass up. This is why they don't want unions. So yeah, he doesn't get a notch in the belt for that. Our detention staff went from eligible for food stamps to being paid for their educational advancements. Now we have a fair and complete pay scale. I have also implemented policies and a professional standards division to address recruiting and audits of conduct for the employees. I am involved in the local basic law enforcement programs to recruit more law enforcement to include minorities. Again, you don't get a notch in the belt. You have to do this. Affirmative action. You have to do this. You have to do this. If you look at all surrounding agencies, we all lack a balance of races to fill positions. I do have strong minority leaders moving up in the ranks, and they have all the advantages that anyone else has, and I will support them in their careers. He's saying this like this proves that he's not a shitty person. Sir, you're still a shitty person. Let us call it like we see it. This is a political attack for old school politics to regain control of the sheriff's office. As Souls promotes himself as an upstanding and honest candidate, he walked around and records conversations instead of facing the situation with the ones he accuses. There is also no mention of Souls communicating with me while he served under Lewis Hatcher by giving me information about the Hatcher campaign. This is not the demeanor of a leader. This is the evidence of a follower controlled by others that will benefit from having someone they can control in office. I will cooperate fully with any investigation. The sheriff's office that I lead will not be bullied or intimidated. We will serve all citizens no matter their race, color, or creed. We do not pick and choose the cases we investigate. This is not only an attack on me, this is an attack on the entire sheriff's office and its employees. No, sir. In closing, I adamantly deny any racial intent or actions on my part. But sir, we heard you. We heard you, sir. You can deny it all you want. We heard you. I acknowledge there were racial tensions, the 2018 certification of the election, and that the media and some members in the community were referring to the two political sides as black and white. And I also acknowledge that I use expletive language, but deny using it with malice or intent. What world are these people living in? What world is he living in? You said you were going to fire all of the black people. That's malice. That's intent. You said, I'm sick of these black bastards. That's malice, sir. Every black that I know, you told Souls, every black that he knows, they need to be fired. I just want to see Let me log in so I can see some of these comments on this post. Ooh, child, there's a whole bunch of laughing emojis. Well, how do I get to the comments now? Oh, he turned the comments off. He turned the comments off. But there's a whole bunch of laughing emojis. Jody Greene has limited who can comment on this post. Shout out to the person who dropped down in the chat and said, "Did you hear about Jody Greene?" Because it gave us something to talk about today. Chosen says, of course he turned the comments off. Now listen, I'm a strong proponent of not allowing people to get underneath your posts and abuse you or bully you or harass you. So I'm a strong proponent of, I really don't bash people who turn comments off on their posts. But when you're purposely putting out negative comments and you're talking all big and bad in your posts and stuff like that, and then you turn around and turn the comments off, you're a clown to me. You're a clown to me. But yeah, him turning the comments off and you're running for office, then you don't want to hear what constituents have to say. You don't want to hear what your constituents have to say. You don't want to, they may have questions. You don't even want to answer their questions. Baby, this is some tea. For those of you who want to go and share it on your platforms, or this is Columbus County, North Carolina, and this is, Jody Greene. He's seeking re-election. He's still seeking re-election. He has not mentioned anything about dropping out of the race. He's running against the Souls person, S-O-L-E-S. Chosen says, everywhere he shows up, rent a clown to meet and greet him. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Somebody had told me to check my Cash App. Let me see. I thanked everybody. I think I got everybody. Thank y'all for the Cash Apps. I appreciate it so very much. I appreciate it. So that's our video for today, y'all. Did you hear about the 47 sheriffs who didn't pass the psychological test and were relieved from duty? I heard something about it. I haven't gone deep into it, but I did hear something about it. Those of you that are talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, I know all about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I did a video on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Check out the video. Check out the video. She out there talking about give her and her family privacy. Child, whatever. You ain't getting no privacy over here. No privacy from me. None whatsoever. Thank you, She's the Doctor. I appreciate you stopping in, checking out the video, hanging out with me. All right, y'all. Let me get to work. Y'all have a fantastic day. Again, thank you for the hearts, the gifts, the Cash Apps. Thank you to the person who dropped down in the chat and mentioned Jody Greene. Thank you, A. for being a subscriber and supporting me. I appreciate that. Chosen says privacy denied. I'm going to add more to it before I take it away when it comes to Marjorie Taylor Greene and her personal issues. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.